Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early, at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today, we're talking about the present moment in productivity. What is the tie between the present moment and productivity? If you're enjoying the show, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com, see about us. We speak live one-on-one to individuals. We also speak to groups, organizations, universities about being productive through joy in a group setting. You can also go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about our programs and services. Please go to YouTube's Michael Datcher channel and to become a subscriber. So, as you may also be able to tell by the show's title, we're also interested in the ideal of using joy itself as a technology to move us towards our goals and objectives. As we know from 10th grade science, there's a scientific imperative behind the feeling of joy. And when the body is feeling joyful, what's happening at a biochemical level is that the body is flooding itself with endorphins, and those endorphins can give us a sense of euphoria that we can then leverage to move ourselves towards our goals and objectives. We encourage everyone on this show to start their own business that they may be able to eventually live in abundance like a boss. This show, in fact, is aimed at entrepreneurs, those who have their own business, those who would like to own their own business, and those who simply would like to live like a boss. For those who are new, let me say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson. It's a book about identical twin sons, one of whom gets the skin condition vitiligo that Michael Jackson claimed to have. That book will be out in America April 2018, so in a couple months. Look for that in bookstores everywhere. I'll be probably coming to a town near you, so look for me in social media and other forms of media as I come to you. Holla at me when I come to town. I'm also the former executive director of the World Stage, a literary and jazz venue here in Los Angeles. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from the University of California at Riverside. I am currently a professor of English literature at Loyola Marymount University here in Los Angeles. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, then subsequently gave me up for adoption to a wonderful single divorcee. So at the time, however, there was no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD, yet as Cool Modi famously said, how you like me now? Okay, and if I can be this productive through joy, so can many people who are watching the show right now. We know what it's like to come through difficulty, and many people like us have a built-in, very good excuse as to why we have not balled, don't think we can ball, don't think we will ball, because we come from such difficulty. But we're here to say and to demonstrate that when people like us who come from these types of backgrounds can have abundant success, it really inspires people around us. It really encourages people who come from similar backgrounds to let them know that they also can do it. It creates a wellspring of possibility in our spheres of influence. All right. Again, if you're enjoying the show, please swipe left or right across your device to invite people to join the conversation. Definitely go to productivethroughjoy.com. Again, we offer live one-on-one productive through joy consulting. We also speak consulting. We also speak to groups, organizations, and schools about being productive through joy in a group setting. Certainly go to productive through joy. Go to michaeldatcher.com and become a subscriber. It's totally free. I did say free, 1, 2, 3, 4, free. And get all these videos and announcements and updates, etc., about our services. In the morning show, we like to also touch on the ideal of framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. As we know, as adults, at times we find ourselves confronting a series of problems that kind of follow us, that we wake up in the morning at times with trouble on our mind, and that trouble can follow us throughout our day. And with that trouble comes stress. And one of the major killers of people in the world, at least people of color, major contributors to ill health, to dis-ease, is stress. So stress management is a thing, is an area that we really pay attention to and we are productive at helping people alleviate that kind of stress. That's how we do it. Because we know that stress happens every day, it makes sense to us to have a daily, a ritualized way to deal with stress. A ritual can be defined in this, for us, as essentially doing the same thing at around the same time. Because life again happens every day. It's best seen through example. Let me give you my morning ritual as to serve as an exemplar. In the mornings, I wake up at 3:45 a.m. I do our morning show. I read a couple of spiritual books first. Spiritual indoor business books. I do our show right now at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel until 5. At around 5, I work on my current book for a while, and then about the break of dawn, I go out to the beach. I live here along the coast in Venice Beach, California. I bring my drum. I go drum. I meditate. I pray. I do yoga. It's a beautiful time out there, guys. I come back. I work on my current book for a while longer. Then I go back to the beach to run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, all the way back here to Venice to go to my gym, Gold's Gym here in Venice, to get my workout in. So by 9:30, guys, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins. As we know from 10th grade science, when the body is feeling joyful, the body is simply flooding itself with endorphins, and those endorphins can give us a sense of euphoria. And when my body is flooded with those endorphins, I leverage that endorphin release to move me towards my goals and objectives, which for me, of course, involve consulting, real estate, publishing, and public speaking. We're not saying do what I do. We're saying do what you do. And we help people to construct a ritual based upon their belief systems, their schedule, their time, etc., as a way to date and help them become accountable, and help them offer an accountability partner so they can be held accountable to maintaining that ritual day in and day out. Because life happens day in and day out. It just makes sense, guys, to prepare for life day in and day out, so that you can enjoy it and that life is not running you. I'm smiling because my life used to completely run me. I feel like I was just being tossed like a rag doll, like my Raiders this year. Just tossed around. We went 6-10. It was a nightmare season. But we got John Gruden as a brief football sidebar for football fans in the house. And so we want to be able to make the most of these opportunities in life by being prepared when opportunities come our way, or when we make opportunities manifest, to fully seize them. We do that by ritual. So I'm reading 2 great books as a part of my morning ritual. Now I'm reading a book, here we go, called The Nag Hammadi Reader or Library. There's various versions of the book, but the Nag Hammadi Library is a compendium, a collection of Gnostic sacred scriptures from the early first century, the early first, second, and third century. Very powerful. At times, looking at the early life of Jesus. These are books that were. This collection includes the so-called lost books of the Bible, which not lost. They were actually hidden away because people were trying to burn them because it offered a much more nuanced perspective of the life of the historical Jesus. He seems to, from these books, to have been a meditator, certainly a mystic. Wow, these books were crazy. I'm also reading a book by Carl Lantz called Owning the Moment, which is a book which sounds like its title. It's about being really investing fully in moments and being excellent in those moments. And from these 2 books, I extract wisdom, which I call the morning chant. Today's morning chant is, as a meditating natural mystic, I am one who transforms present moments into opportunities to excellently build my dreams moment by moment. So I contemplate that idea. I place it on my phone. I pop it out when I'm going throughout my day. And I also create the morning and afternoon shows based upon that morning reading. So today we're talking about present moment and productivity. What is the connection between being in the present moment, seizing the present moment, being excellent in the present moment, and how that enhances one's productivity. Okay, again, if you're enjoying the show, please swipe left or right across your device. Definitely go to productivethroughjoy.com, see about us, have me come out, speak to your group or organization, get one-on-one consulting if that would work better for you. Definitely become a subscriber to YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. Get all these videos for free. It is free, 1, 2, 3, 4, free. Holler at us, holler at me. I'm rhyming, but not on purpose. All right, this is unintentional flow. All right, let's dive in, guys, to the topic. So today, again, we're talking about present moment and productivity. So point one is you want to embrace the idea that life itself is simply a compendium, a collection of moments. And as you approach the day, when you can begin to break it down into moments, you choosing to make choices in the moment with which we like to talk about choosing to align with the one or recognize yourself as the one as a part of the primordial energy, the thing itself, the first thing that was here, that subdivided itself, that is the source of all things, that that which all things come from. My agnostic or atheist friends who are in science, but who know that energy is real, at least for them, they describe energy in the same way that people believe in God describe it. They talk about energy has always been here. It cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes forms, much in the same way that people talk about God. You can use your own nomenclature. We just know there's something, and it was here first. And it cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form. So that means it's got to be inside of us. We call it the one, the divine spirit. We call it God, Allah, Amen, as the Kemetic, the ancient Egyptians called it. Hey, we don't care what you call it. We just know it's real. And so point one is you want to, moment by moment, choose to align with what I'll just call the one, right? Which goes into point two. How do you do that? We help people to be in the habit of, it's a mixture of breathing, but really kind of going through your day conscious, woke, as we say in the modern vernacular context. You want to stay woke throughout your day. You want to be conscious. You want to almost observe yourself, observe your choices, which is the Buddhist principle of being an observer of yourself. Almost kind of as you go through your life, going through your life, kind of walking a bit, elevating a bit above your right, left shoulder, just kind of seeing yourself as you begin to make choices throughout the day, and begin to be in a consistent state of making choices to align with the one, drawing from that, tapping into that primordial power, allowing it to guide you. And when you begin to do that, it's a practice, right? It's because the world is so distracting, as we know, especially now with our current president and with the drama that this presidency is inflicting on the world. Although it's a good thing in many ways because he's just uncovering that which has been hidden. He's allowing people cover to come out who are racist, who are misogynist, who are white supremacists, who've been on the DL, on the down low, but now they're like, hey, our boys in the White House? Hell yeah. So listen, it's a good thing too, because you know where people stand in a much more replete way, which is how it is in the southern part of the state. People, as a sidebar, the white folk who don't like black people in the South of America tell you right away, we don't deal with black people. And it gives you a chance to say, oh, well, I don't deal with you. And then, but you know where you stand, so it's good. But that attitude is now permeating the country, which is good. You know who your enemies are, although there really are no enemies, but you know who is opposing you. But that's a sidebar. The idea is, as you begin to align with the one, you can begin to, in this present complicated world, begin to make choices that align with the primordial power, which leads right into point three, which you could, at that point you can begin to have an enhanced level of productivity that you're going to see right away. All right, boom goes the dynamite. That's it for today's show. We air each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel at 4:45 p.m. On Facebook Live. Have me come out speak to your organization. We offer live one-on-one productive through joy consulting as well. Definitely become a subscriber on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. It's free. Get all these videos. See about us. Look for me coming to your town soon in April when the novel Americas comes out here in America. We're very excited about that. You can also go, of course, to productivethroughjoy.com, see more details about our programs, our pricing, all that we do. Thanks for being here, guys. We love and respect you. Until this afternoon, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces. Oh, let me get, for folks on the West Coast, heads up about the Women's March this Sunday. Look for it all over social media. This upcoming Sunday. So I'll be there with my daughters. All right, so until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.